It is the 10th day of June 2017. Many thanks for joining us on this edition of KTN Weekend Prime. We have a lot lined up for you in this bulletin, including a special feature by our Dr. Mercy Korir, where she explores a growing concern in Kisumu, where school-going children are said to increasingly be falling prey to bodaboda riders even as they go to school. And this social issue forms the basis of our Saturday night poll tonight. And we are asking you tonight, what are your comments on claims that some motorcycle riders are exposing schoolgirls to HIV and other diseases? What are your comments on this? These claims that motorcycle riders are exposing schoolgirls to HIV and other diseases. Do share with us your thoughts by tweeting me directly at Sharon_Momanyi or at KTN News and at KTN Kenya, and we shall be sampling your views as we continue with this bulletin. But first, let's take a look at other news making headlines tonight.
Kwani ni lazima tuwe na serikali?
Yule Buzeki aliyeshindana na Mandago aunge mkono Mandago.
Tatio temperature inapanda Wazingishu. Temperature inapandishwa.
All right, we apologize for that, but many thanks for joining us on this bulletin tonight. My name is Sharon Momanyi. Our sign language interpreter is Meresha Owiti. Let's start with that crucial social issue. And the fight against HIV in Kenya is often met with new challenges, even as some are overcome in regions where the motorcycle, popularly known as bodaboda, is a major means of transport. School-going girls are easy prey for the riders. Dr. Mercy Korir, our medical correspondent, filed this story from Kisumu, where residents think that this habit contributes to the spread of HIV, early pregnancies, and cases of school dropouts in that region.
The journey towards educating the girl child and eventual women empowerment has had its own challenges, and now a unique barrier has been witnessed in some areas where the motorcycle, popularly known as bodaboda, is a major means of transport. We went to Kisumu.
Majority of children who are school-going, some of them go to school far away. And this gives a bodaboda people an opportunity of carrying these children to school. This is where the relationship between the children and the bodaboda start.
Talking to some of the bodaboda riders.
Sasa ile wanawabeba, wanaongea kama wanaenda. Sasa zingine unakuta mtoto anakosa hata kalamu, pengine hata kalanje ya maragwe na chapati. Utakuta kama watazoeana.
Motorbike, most of them ni wauni, hawana bibi. Baadhi yenu inafanya hiyo kitu. Especially hiyo from 1 kwenda mbele, si wa primary.
These girls are caught between a rock and a hard place, especially where parents are accused of neglecting their duties.
A lot of parents have left their role of parenting. And somebody would want easy money to come. They don't mind where the girls get whatever they wear. They don't mind where the girl gets even money to buy. Children are left to tend to themselves.
Wakina mama unajua, kuna wengine anaweza kosa pesa. Na mtu wa bodaboda pengine amepeleka mtoto kwa shule hata kwa mwezi moja.
Some of the mothers giving them their daughters, insisting on their daughters to befriend the bodaboda people. And when the bodaboda refuse, the women themselves will start calling them names within the community.
Tough economic times is being cited as one of the many reasons why these young girls on their way to and from school find themselves at the mercy of these bodaboda riders who many say have easy money.
Siku hizi watu wa bodaboda wako na pesa. So wakiona wanakubali, wanaingia kwa box.
Utaona mtoto pengine mama yake ama baba yake alikosa pesa, sasa ana mahitaji zingine.
In Muhoroni, children live far away from schools. So they wake up early in the morning. The only person who can give them a lift is the bodaboda. So this relationship starts between here, between the bodaboda and the girl. That one of giving them ride and bringing them back. The next time, they will find themselves with the girls in the plantation. In Kisumu, we will say we have a lot of girls who sell maize jioni wakitoka shule. And this has also been a problem. Juu saa zingine mtoto anakaa nje paka late.
The biggest fear with this is the conversion of the bodabodas from passenger carriers to HIV carriers and distribution channels.
Watoto hatujui kama wako wametest, kwa sababu saa zingine unaenda kama umepata msala kama amekubali pesa, ana agree, unaenda na yeye. Hataki hata utumie CD.
Unajua akienda na huyu kesa aende na kwa mwingine, sasa naleta tu njia ya ugonjwa.
Kama mtu wa bodaboda ako na virusi, naende na mtoto, hata ende na mama wengine, na huyu hakuwa nayo, si huyu mama amepata au mtoto huyu amepata.
The Kenya AIDS Response Progress Report of 2016 has Kisumu as a hyper-endemic region. It reports more than 15% HIV rates compared to 6%, which is the national average.
Watoto hawajajua hii mambo ya kutumia mpira. Pengine hii mambo wanafanya tu kigafla, pengine wajapanga.
Majority of the younger girls cannot negotiate on condom use.
Sasa hata enda shule, amepata ugonjwa, labda amepata mimba. Sasa atakuwa na wewe hapa.
The long arm of the law has not been long enough to curb this emerging practice.
Majority of them do not even know what the Sexual Offences Act says. When they are arrested and now they have to go through the justice system, is when they realize that really the mistake that they did of moving on with a minor or sleeping around with a minor, the law is there.
Kuna wengine wanasikia na kuna wengine anaona kama unampigia tu gita.
Unaweza hata shika mtu na mtoto wako, kisha unaona yeye tu kama anaendesha bodaboda tena. Wameenda wameuza hata udongo, wametoa pesa, anawachiliwa.
These young girls in their quest for education come across these challenges that strip them of their innocence too soon, all in the name of easy money.
I work a lot with children in school, and there are a lot of things that children will tell you. My mother tells me to go and look for money hata ya kununua sabuni, mafuta ya kujipaka. And these are girls who are growing up, they are teenagers. So what else would they do? Akipatana na mtu wa bodaboda ule anatengeneza pesa kila siku, they would definitely fall into that trap. And sometimes I would say it is not poverty, because poverty cannot make you uchukue mtoto wako umpeleke kuanza kufanya kazi ya kutembea na wanaume to get money.
Dr. Mercy Korir, KTN News.
All right, and that story by Dr. Mercy Korir, of course, forms the basis of our Saturday night poll. And today, we are actually just inviting your comments on this issue. What do you think? What are your comments on claims that some motorcycle riders are exposing schoolgirls to HIV and other diseases? We invite your thoughts on the same. You can tweet me at Sharon_Momanyi or at KTN News at KTN Kenya. You can also text us on 22155. I'll sample some of your views as we continue with this bulletin. All right, let's take some politics now. And Nyando MP and Kisumu Senate ODM candidate Fred Outa had to fire shots into the air as he escaped from a hostile crowd of mourners after chaos erupted at a funeral in his constituency. And Outa's bodyguards also fired several shots to save him from the surging crowd that also smashed his car windows during the scuffle that disrupted the burial of former area MP Miruka Owor for several hours today. Outa's car's windscreen had what looked like a bullet hole, and police are examining it to establish who could have fired the bullet. Trouble started after Outa stood from his seat and approached the dais where a member of Kisumu County Assembly for Wawivi Ward, Moses Ochele, was criticizing him. The mourners refused to have Outa address them, and that's where it started. All right, with less than 2 months to the August 8th election, and I beg your pardon, I'll take that again, and after weeks from pressure from the Jubilee politicians in the Rift Valley, Deputy President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta have today categorically told independent candidates who left Jubilee after nominations to step down and support Jubilee ticket holders. Uhuru and Ruto seem to have successfully settled the grumbling in the camp led by Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago. And after asking Zedekiah Bundotich Elias Buzeki to fall behind Mandago, but as KTN's associate editor Noah Tieno reports, Buzeki has also stood his ground, saying that he will not step down for Mandago.
In a matter of hours after landing in Uasin Gishu County, Ruto had 3 outspoken rebellious politicians singing not just the praises of Jubilee Party, but they were also extolling the virtues of William Ruto and his boss Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto knew exactly what Jackson Mandago, Oscar Sudi and Alfred Keter wanted to hear.
Bwana Buzeki ambaye alishindana na Mandago aje aungane na Mandago.
Listen to these speeches from just 8 days ago.
Mjinga akierefuka, mwerefu yuko mashakani. Hata sisi kura yetu tumerefuka. Na vile Sudi anasema hatutaki mchezo, tutaweka agents kila mahali. Kura 100 ikienda kwa nini? Hata hiyo ingine taambia raia mweni hata mgujui na hesabu vile inaenda. Kwani ni lazima tukue na serikali?
Sasa tukianza pitina kati yetu, safari itaenda ngumu sana. Na vile mumeeleza na viongozi, hata kura yetu si lazima. Mukianza kuenda kombo kidogo, tunaweza lainisi hata yetu iende vizuri.
The near fallout had arisen from claims that the deputy president and the top Jubilee leadership were quietly supporting independent candidates led by Zedekiah Bundotich, popularly known as Buzeki. And so, when the deputy president landed in the region that has been his stronghold for decades, he had the medicine for the rebels.
Na mimi nataka niwaombe kwa heshima. Wale wote walioshindana na hawa wangwana. Mimi nawaomba kwa heshima. Waswahili wanasema asiyekubali kushindwa. Mimi nawaomba kwa heshima kwamba kama Jubilee tutahakikisha kwamba kila mmoja wetu ambaye alikosa pia tutamwangalia tumpatie kazi nyingine.
It was an immediate political cure for a political problem, and the about turn was magical.
Watu wasikuwe na wasiwasi sehemu yoyote ati temperature inapanda Uasin Gishu. Temperature inapandishwa na hiyo watu ya media. Andikeni ile vitu ya ukweli. Bana kwenda kujaza vitina kwa magazeti na radio na TV. Temperature mko na thermometer ya kupima roho ya watu. Ama kupima vile tunataka kupiga kura. Nyinyi andikeni maneno ya ukweli. Kaunti hii tuko pamoja na mimi nahakikishia nyinyi kama taifa la Kenya kura za hapa zitapigwa kwa amani. Story ya upusi. Sisi tukiwa watu wa bonde la ufa na tulitangaza Kericho, tuko na kiongozi mmoja peke yake, William Samoei Ruto.
Tunapigia debe Mheshimiwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na naibu wake Deputy President.
It was quiet after they left Kapseret, but Buzeki had already declared that despite the pressure to step down for Mandago, he will stay in the race.
So I want to still tell the people of Uasin Gishu that I appreciate the Deputy President's position by deciding to choose who he intends to vote for. I respect his democratic right to support Mandago. But I would also want to say that the people of Uasin Gishu at large will exercise their democratic right on the 8th of August. And that is the day when the actual outcome of this election will come to an end.
The unease is stemming from the feeling that the populace will vote only for those candidates endorsed by Ruto in his stronghold. Now, KTN News.
Right, let's stay in Uasin Gishu, and apart from the issues surrounding the storm over independent candidates in Rift Valley, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto held various rallies across the 2 counties of Uasin Gishu and Elgeyo Marakwet. Elvis Kosgei reports.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy led their foot soldiers in a campaign rally in Uasin Gishu and Elgeyo Marakwet counties, which are perceived to be the bedrock of Deputy President William Ruto's support. But Kenyatta's rally was, however, temporarily interrupted by ugly scenes. Ugly scenes where independent supporters of former Sasini MD Moses Changwony heckled Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Alex Tolgos. The governor was forced to cut short his speech and invite his opponent.
Lakini sisi tunakuombea kura na wananchi wa eneo hii, tungependa ile uvumi kwamba watu wa independent na wako na Uhuru Ruto ikome kutoka leo. Tarudi hapa tena tuchape mkutano mkubwa wa hadhara tukiwa pamoja na viongozi wote wa Jubilee, na ndio tuamshe na tuambie ya kwamba mjipange, muwe tayari, serikali tuweze tuiunde saa 2 asubuhi tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8.
The president chose to remain mum on this matter. The campaign rallies focused on solidifying the Rift Valley vote.
Na sasa tumesema ya kwamba kutoka mwaka ujao kila mama ambaye anaenda kujifungua katika hospitali ya serikali atapatiwa kadi ya NHIF ambaye serikali itamlipia mwaka moja, ndio mtoto akiwa mgonjwa wanaenda hospitali wanatibiwa. Sasa hiyo maneno Deputy President alisema utumalizie hiyo maneno. Wewe kijana kae mzuri ndio aendelee kusupport huyu Daniel.
However, when the president convoy was heading to where the helicopters were, sounds of heavy gunfire were heard as armed cattle rustlers attacked an area nearby. They reportedly injured one person and stole over 20 heads of livestock, forcing the president's flight to delay. The president and his deputy will be in Bungoma County on Sunday. Elvis Kosgei, KTN News, in Elgeyo Marakwet County.
And with less than 2 months to the August 8th general election, KTN News has obtained details of an intricate but highly organized machinery put in place by the National Super Alliance to try and lock down the August election. Our senior political affairs reporter Duncan Haemba reveals the engine at the heart of NASA.
Aware that this could be his final stab at presidency, and with the major opposition parties rallying behind him under the National Super Alliance, Raila Odinga is reported to have assembled a thorough and robust campaign machinery that he believes will deliver a knockout to Jubilee's President Uhuru Kenyatta in August. The core team, which is the National Campaign Steering Committee, will be led by NC's Musalia Mudavadi and will be deputized by Senator Johnston Muthama and Ogla Karani, together with a Ghanaian expert.
I can tell you that we shall not rest from now henceforth until the election is won.
A second battalion is Raila Odinga Presidential Campaign Center that is based on Church Road in Westlands, headed by Willis Otieno, and has a staff of over 300, among them economists, political strategists and scientists, researchers, statisticians and analysts, as well as experts believed to be from Ghana and Germany. Economist David Ndii has been very instrumental in NASA's activities.
If Jubilee can do what they did in December in Parliament, bringing policemen, fighting, what are they going to do if we allow them to have a supermajority?
A third unit, which will serve as NASA's nerve center of data and a call center as well, is based in Lavington. Their duties linking all candidates and the campaign center. It is this unit that is responsible for assembling presidential agents for all the wards in the country, with NASA having announced it will employ and adopt a polling station strategy by deploying agents in all polling stations across the country. A fourth team is NASA Secretariat at Capitol Hill that is under High Court Advocate Norman Magaya, who is the Chief Executive Officer, while former PS Andrew Mondo is the Chief of Staff. It is here at Capitol Hill where NASA principals meet regularly to strategize and make reviews of campaign programs.
ODM, nyinyi tumemkabidhi candidate wenu jukumu kubwa. So, to whom much is given, much will be expected. You have to protect. The rest of the NASA family is looking up to you.
The fifth unit is Media Center, manned by Kathleen Openda, who will be joined by 2 other TV personalities. NASA believes all factors remaining constant, they have what it takes to wrestle power from Jubilee.
We know where, we should target our campaigns, when and how. And this well-oiled campaign machine, as it unravels, people are going to see something that has not been seen for quite a while.
It's not about the money. It's about the resolve of the Kenyan people to remove the Jubilee government.
The August election has been dubbed as a rematch between Jubilee and NASA, given that it is the same pair that will face off just like in the 2013 election, in which only 8,000 votes tilted the scale in favor of Jubilee to achieve the required threshold of 50+1. Duncan Hemba, KTN News.
Right, let's stay with politics. And the opposition National Super Alliance maintains that they have what it takes to govern this country better than Jubilee has done for the last 5 years. The NASA team was campaigning in Makueni today.
Alama kwa azia mabadiliko ni sasa koko yolo. Tuamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa sababu mimi nimekuja wote mara nyingi, na nimekuwa Makindu mara nyingi, nimekuwa Kibwezi mara mingi, nimekuwa Kambu mara nyingi, hata Mutito Andei mara nyingi, nimekuwa Voi mara nyingi, nimekuwa Taveta mara nyingi, lakini yale nimeona jana na leo ni kuonyesha watu wa Kenya wako tayari kwa mabadiliko. Kwa hivyo Jubilee waanze kufunga virago, na tunaambia IBC, tunawakumbusheni, sauti ya watu ni sauti ya Mungu, si ni kweli? Kwa hivyo ndugu Raila, ndugu Weta na Profesa Kibwana na Ndadangilu hapa na Wavinya na viongozi wote, tumeungana zote na tuazia yuba babi kwa yuba eti na wa kiadhe kitwe kiuzo mobio. Jubilee wameleta propaganda nyingi, wanasema wanataka kura tu 100,000 ya Mkamba, ndio wanasimamisha watu kwa Jubilee na vyama vingine, lakini tunasema sisi Wakamba tumekuwa kitu kimoja, ama sivyo? Wangapi wanasema tutapigia Raila na Kalonzo kura? Ikiwa ilambiso na uyandia netonoa hiye kanativo. Na kwa hivyo, kwa sababu ya wakati, nataka niwahakikishie watu wa Makueni na Ukamba na Kenya nzima kwamba tumezunguka, tumeanza tukalaunch mpangilio huu wa kampeni zetu, tukauzindua Kakamega, Bukugu Stadium, na kule Wambaluya wakiongozwa na ndugu Weta na ndugu Mudavadi ambaye kwa hapa, na tena naleta salamu za Weta ambaye amekimbia kule kuangalia mambo ya mazishi. Wakalonji na Waluya wakasema safari hii wameshikana kama kitu kimoja mpaka Jubilee iende nyumbani. Na sisi nataka tuwaulize Wakamba, wao wamefunga ni NASA Western. Nyanza, Wakisii na Wajaluo wamefunga ni NASA. Northeastern wamefunga ni NASA. Coast nzima kupitia kwa kina Governor Joho na wengine wamefunga ni NASA. Nairobi hiyo ni NASA. Hata Rift Valley kimepasuka, imeingia NASA. Kwa hivyo Kenya inasema mabadiliko ni sasa.
Right, and administration police officers from various parts of Kenya held a peace rally today in Bomet Stadium calling for peaceful elections. The event was led by Bomet County Commander Francis Kooli and other national leaders.
Karibuni sana kwa jina la Yesu. Amani, amani.
All right, we want to take a short commercial break here on KTN Weekend Prime, but don't go too far. We have more news. But just to remind you before we go on break that we are inviting your comments on our Saturday night poll with regard to that special report that was brought to us by Dr. Mercy Korir. And we are asking you whether you feel that some motorcycle riders are exposing schoolgirls to HIV and other diseases. Of course, this is after that report from Kisumu where Dr. Mercy Korir showed how schoolgirls are falling easy prey to bodaboda riders. So what are your comments on this? Do you think that some motorcycle riders are exposing schoolgirls to HIV and other diseases? Do share with us your thoughts by tweeting me at Sharon_Momanyi, at KTN News, at KTN Kenya. You can also text us on 22155. I shall be sampling your views shortly. Let's go for a short break now.